When it comes to creating a resilient business, the framework for how you manage risks has to be one of your most important systems. It's important that your risk framework address the 3 different types of risk that we have addressed in one of the other videos of this series. So that's preventable risk, external risk, and strategic risk. Today we're going to quickly walk through this risk framework that CBB has developed to help not-for-profit organisations. Hi, my name is Andrew Ellis and I'm a business consultant with Community Business Bureau, or CBB. The first element of the risk framework is risk governance, and that includes a number of different elements. The board is ultimately responsible for the management of risk and overseeing the risk framework, including the risk policy and appetite. Also fostering the culture that addresses risk, reviewing and overseeing strategic risks, and monitoring new emerging strategic risks. Risk is governed around the context of the organisation internally and externally within your sector and that broader environment. So that internal context includes your strategic plan, your vision, your purpose and your direction. The external context includes things like trends and risks in the sector and the environment that your business is operating within. The board's role includes to foster the risk culture with the tone set from the top of the organisation. Management embed and nurture that proactive approach to risk as well. Management ought to prepare a draft risk appetite for review and approval with the board, outlining the types and levels of risk that the organisation is willing to take on in the pursuit of your overall vision and objectives that you're trying to achieve. This risk appetite informs policies, authority limits and delegation frameworks through the organisation. As an example, the board might have very little tolerance around safety or quality, but might be prepared to take some moderate financial risks. The last part of the governance is the strategy process, which should consider risk and opportunity in a proactive way. This also includes addressing risk and opportunity within the budget. The second element of the risk framework is risk processes, and there's a number of these different processes that we need. The risk policy and procedure are an important first part of your risk processes. Also, originally written over 15 years ago, the international standard ISO 31000 gives a structured process of risk analysis, prioritisation, treatment and ownership, and that process remains just as relevant now as it was back then. That process can help you to create a risk register to analyse, categorise, mitigate your risks and identify the owners for each of those. As we've spoken about with external risks, it's important to have a regular process to review and update the risk register, including reporting to the management and board with those updates. Once your business continuity plan has been established, scenario planning and testing should be done to ensure that management understand the plan and that plan continues to evolve and develop. The third and the last element of the risk framework is your risk resourcing. Ownership should be allocated to an individual or a group for each of your identified risks in the risk register and for strategic risks that are before the board. Your different business units and corporate functions each have a different role with risk. So your business units or departments seek to take intelligent risks, identify, assess and mitigate risks and report to management on those. Your corporate functions are proactive in identifying and managing risks in their area of expertise. So for example, cybersecurity or work health safety and compliance requirements. And those corporate functions also have a role in challenging the business units as well as supporting management. As your organisation grows, it should have resources dedicated to supporting and coordinating risk management activities. Now that might be done by another role, such as the quality manager, but things like that doesn't necessarily relieve other employees of their responsibility to identify and manage risk, since the whole business needs to be risk aware. But it is important to have a dedicated role for someone ensuring that risk management activities are done effectively. Business processes, so that's your policies, procedures and forms, should incorporate elements of risk into their design and how they operate. So that's in HR, IT, strategy, your budget process, insurance, marketing, service delivery, finance, quality, health and safety. Lastly, audits can provide great assurance that the controls and mitigation plans are in place and are effective. As you've watched through this video, what stands out to you as the 1 or 2 things within that overall framework that you most need to improve in your business? What can you change or act on from what you've heard today in order to improve your business resilience? If after watching this video you feel like you already have a lot of it together, then I'd suggest you go on and have a look at our video that we have on risk maturity.